Hello everyone, hope you're all doing well. Good to be here. It's sunny out here in Vancouver, British Columbia. We had a bit of a nice, warm yet rainy day yesterday. Not so much rain, but it was very damp, humid. I hope wherever you are, everything is in order and goes along your way, whether it's the weather or whether it's your emotions, inside and out. I hope it is working out for you. So we are here again for another hour of discussion on topics having to do with thoughts, consciousness, ego, desire, and fears, things to do with your breakups, relationships, matters that it matters to you in your negotiation of your daily life. So let's see how many people will join us. It would be great if you, when you say hello, let me know which part of the world you're tuning in from. Usually we have, during the past year, in fact, I think today or one of these days, if you haven't passed it already, we're approaching to mark 1 year of every week live talk, spending time together from all around the world. And we owe this to wonderful people of Witty Feet, who are my extended family in India, who are lovely people, young people, strong in their mentality, perseverance, success in their business, and we owe it to them to have facilitated this opportunity for us to have a few words every now and then. And it's now almost, if not already past, 1 year since that time that we started. And I'm sure many of you have enjoyed our talks, and so have I. You can always make sure that you tune into my YouTube channel. My name would be there. The link is up there. You can find it via my name or the link that I put up there. And you can check my site, mindthatseekstruth.com, and then read a sample chapter of the books that is available there. The seminar that I've done for local universities, sometimes I put the video of that seminar there. You can either see the sample portion of the seminar or look at the table of contents of the books and see which one of the books suits you to deal with what you have been concerned with. Also, you know that you can always talk to me one-on-one on Skype. You can go to the site again, mindthatseekstruth.com, and go to the Talk to Me for consultation and make an appointment, and we will chat about your challenges or what issues you're facing with, as I do that all around the week, all through the week, with people who need it with around the world. Sonia, good morning, Mehraj. Good morning, Sonia Chun. How are you? Where are you, Sonia? You are, I know Don. Don, where are you? Don Diego, hello, dear. Remind me where you guys are located, so it gives me a good geographic map in my mind that how far are the people, the friends that I'm talking to. So, as we are waiting for other people to join us, and just send us a little hello to know that we are all there. We're going to chit-chat about whatever it is that you want to chit-chat. Or you can just throw me a question and we can start our discussion, and while others will join us then. Recently, I just uploaded a new video on anxiety, and we discussed that, and I will discuss that further in the future. We need to understand the feelings that most of us, if not all of us, have of worries and anxieties about different things, and without having to do anything to do with the medical reasons, we want to discuss about the anxiety in general and how it affects us, how it forms, what we can make out of it. And of course, you understand that I'm not a doctor of medicine, so our discussions are basically non-medical roots, and it is all about what is happening with us, every one of us, as a human being, not as a medical condition. Sonia is in London. Okay, good. Hello from Greece. And let me see if I can know the name. The name is written in a different alphabet, which I can't necessarily know. I can only understand the K. And there's 2 K's in your first name, that's all. So let's see, we had a question from Debbie, I believe. Hello, Debbie. It is nearly a year, I remember, she says, when I found this live talk and video. She says they saved my sanity as my heart was so broken. You helped me a lot. Thank you. You're quite welcome, Debbie. I'm delighted to hear these sort of comments, as this is the whole purpose of having started this venture, this live talks, the books that I've written, the videos that I make on the channel. Now we have over 500, so 510, 512 videos on that channel. Long ones, lecture ones, and short ones consist of answer to the questions of people in these live talks. So we have a good library of different kind of scenarios about emotional difficulties and challenges and things that is concerning most of us as human beings, which pertains to all of us, because we are all in many ways similar to our feelings, to our needs, to our problems, challenges, what we face in our psyche. So hopefully it would be helping many people along the way. Now, Vivek says, I wanted to ask why there's so much misunderstanding happened with wife. How to reduce gap between 2 people. Well, that is a very elaborate question, because when you look at people as just mannequins, and then you consider that you know the person, you really don't know the person. That's why the gap is there. You know your friend, a girlfriend, or whatever your relationship is, whatever your gender is. You know your partner based on your, mostly, especially at the beginning, based on your physical attraction, a physical interaction, physical attraction, the promise or the hope, opportunity for intimacy. What is your program? You're programmed, most all of us are programmed for procreation. So we have this propensity toward attraction to what is opposite sex to us. The feeling that we are creating are all based on pleasure, sex, intimacy, companionship, and that feeling of living in a pack, more than one, two people in a couple. So, but that has nothing to do with having gotten to know a person. If you like a person, if you love a person, if you wish to be with that person, to get to know that person, or even marry that person, often you do all these before you really, in true sense, getting to know that person. The feelings that is generated and overwhelms you and makes you feel that you really can't live without that person, or you really love your partner, these are all based on those physical interactions. But do you really know your wife? Does your wife really know you? What is knowing? How could you know your wife if you, not you per se, I'm talking in general, if you don't even know yourself? And what is knowing yourself to begin with? Then you will see, this is how I've been put together. This is why I behave the way that I do. This is the way I'm acting or reacting or influenced the way I am. On what basis? This is how my psyche is put together. Do you know that? No. So what do you know about yourself? You know who you are, you know how you look like, you know what your needs are. You're hungry, you're cold, you're warm, you want to have sex, you like someone, you're attracted to someone. But is that you? Or these are needs and feelings and attractions and senses? But does that also mean you know yourself? No. How do you know yourself? Well, you got to go back and find out, what is your center? How have you been put together? What makes you who you are? What makes you act and react the way you do? Have you questioned all this? No. So let's go over them. You are your consciousness, your center, what makes you tick, what makes you act and react. The recognizing a reaction, your thoughts. How are your thoughts born? Well, again, these are the things that you got to know in order, or before you can say you know yourself. So in the case of consciousness, well, many of our traits and characteristics are transferred to us through thousands of years of generations ago, the genes passing through, and certain behavior and characteristics has eventually come to you. But the rest of your center, your characteristics, your you, is put together by how you've been conditioned, what you've been exposed through your childhood, through your parents, siblings, teachers, rules and regulations of where you live, customs, religions, traditions, schooling, teachers, laws, everything else, taboos, everything that you have been exposed to, read, watched, all through your childhood, you've been influenced by, and they have all formed your consciousness. All these information have gathered and been recorded in your consciousness. And based on that, you are you. And of course, how you behave and react, the thoughts, are all stemming from the content of this consciousness that we just briefly talked about, how it has come about. Now, once you understand the interactions of your thoughts and consciousness, fear, desire, and ego, how desire is born. What are your fears all about? What is ego? When you understand all these things, then you have an idea who you are, how you're put together, what you're all about. Then, and only then, you can start seeing if you know of these things about your wife as well. Are you sensitive, aware, alert of how she's been put together? Or do you expect her, just because she lays with you and somehow you guys have a certain arrangement, that one understands or tolerates or dominates, or your relationship are based on really fair and equal basis, that you know that person. Is that what you think? That's not knowing that person. So the gap, you wondering, because you say, I'm so close to her. You're so close to her physically. You see her every day. She makes your tea or you make her tea. You guys eat together. You have children together. These are all physical closeness, proximity. But do you know her? Do you love her for what you know she is? Do you love who she is? Or do you love what she does for you? Do you know her or you recognize her as her state and position in your life? Your wife. This is my wife. Or she says, this is my, You all have certain relationship. She calls you her husband, you call her your wife, and you think you know her? Because she does certain things for you, so you know her. You do certain things for her, so she knows you. The gap is surprising to you because you think you're so close. We're living together, so I must know her. But you don't know her. She may not know you. You must understand that the differences that you all have, it's normal. It should not be a reason for discomfort or breakup or anger because she thinks differently. Because her consciousness is put together differently than yours have. And because you have been raised in a different environment, different part of town, different people around you, different things you were exposed in, different parents, maybe different even genes. And same things with her. But you expect her to have no gap with you. How is it possible? Unless you want her to be your clone. If you're cloned, if she's cloned based on your genes, well then okay. She's your copy. She's not your copy. You're not her copy. You're not each other's clone. So, the differences are acceptable, normal. Once you understand that it is okay to be different, and why it's different, because our consciousnesses are different. Therefore, the way we see things, understand things, observe things, perceive things, unfortunately, instead of really being with the moment of how things happen, they're all different. These are normal. If you understand these are okay, then you'll be okay with her. Because everything that she does differently than you, it will not make you surprised, angered, or vice versa. Because you understand what your center is, what your consciousness is, what you is, and she understands what she is, and you understand what each other, how each other have been put together. And then you're no longer surprised of the differences. You don't call it gap. You call it an opportunity to understand and learn about each other. Yeah? I have a video on YouTube, or do I? Or no, it's a chapter in Me, My Psyche and I, one of the books that I've written, which talks about consciousness and uses the example of libraries, and then thoughts use the example of books in the libraries, and then superconsciousness, giving the example of the reserved library within the library. I think it would be wonderful if you guys can get your hands on Me, My Psyche and I, and take a look at the stuff in there. I think because of the anniversary, or I guess the year of these live talks, I may actually encourage everybody to get their hands on one of these books, ebooks, because on the site mind@seekstruth.com, both the paper version and the ebook version are available. Paper versions are expensive because it has lots of, shipping cost is thick and it's heavy. But ebooks are very nominal. Me, My Psyche and I is, I guess, $26, $27. But I think for the anniversary, I'm thinking to program the system to accept a very nominal fee for a limited period of time. I think maybe $8 instead of $27 or $7, something like that. I will see what works with the costs and all that. And then I want you all take the opportunity for that period that I'm going to put this on and buy that book, and when you have a leisure time, read it and enjoy it. Don't read it like a textbook, just read it as to ponder. And perhaps that would shed some more light on your questions, and I hope that for now this would be enough. Otherwise I can go on for another couple of hours on this one question without really going to the other people's. So let's see if we can stop that now and then see what else is there. This was a big question, and the answer is it takes another half an hour or an hour to discuss at least. But I thought maybe give you something to ponder so you won't be so surprised and have a tendency to understand each other better based on that the differences is not intentional. It's how you've been put together. Just got to understand each other a little better. So, Sonia says, why some people have communication problems? Even telephone companies have communication problems, let alone people. that is because their data is not enough. The uplink is not connected to the Wi-Fi or whatever it is. They're disconnected. They can't express their feelings and assume you can read their minds. Why people don't communicate? Because they can't express their feelings, you say, and they assume that as if you can read their minds. That's a communication breakdown. As of course, it is not it is not logical to expect other people to understand what's in your head. We just describe how we are put together, and we each have different consciousness, and our consciousness is put together differently based on all the things that we discussed just a few seconds ago. You know, the genes and the parents and the nationality and religion and dogmas and rules and regulations, the books and exposure of things and teachers, so on and so forth, through years and years of experience, how old you are and what things you've been exposed, all that have created that consciousness. So one partner expecting the other one to feel or assume their feelings is quite illogical. And it's expecting too much. If they reverse it and they can see that they cannot guess what other person is feeling most of the times, maybe sometimes each can, depending on how simple it is. But when they reverse it and see they themselves cannot do that, then how could they expect you to be able to figure out what they feel, what they need? It's rather laziness in communication, rather selfishness, that you should know me. How? Why? Who are you? How could I know you? I'm not in your head, so you should help me to know you, or help me to understand what you mean. You can't just, I can just bring this up and do this and expect you to understand that I'm saying, it's good, or do you want one, or I have this, or you don't have it, some boasting. It could mean anything, but it's clear to me, but it's not clear to you. And it would be unreasonable for me to expect that by just one gesture, or expecting you to know how I feel, what I want you to do, how I want you to feel. These are just their lack of understanding of what communication is. And it's laziness, is lack of not knowing really how to communicate. And sometimes it's insecurity between two people who have just met, and they are kind of afraid to lose their image of I don't need, because everybody's trying to portray that they don't need the other person in order to secure their position and be considered very worthy. That okay, because usually you're attracted to someone that you feel he or she doesn't need you, doesn't need anything, not just you, doesn't need anything. That's why some people are attracted to assholes. Some people are attracted to people who have nothing going for them in life, and they take that mistakenly as this person is confident and he doesn't need anything because he has everything. No, he doesn't need anything because he can't get anything. He's a stupid and he's incapable of creating anything. And these are the people who walk around, do any kind of a silly, stupid thing, and they think life will just give them something if they just don't care. It's a statement. No, it's a statement of stupidity and wasting life, not to create anything and not to live correctly with the moment and not to learn or produce or help and contribute something to the humanity, to the life, to bring the standard of life higher for everyone in this universe, in this journey. So when you're attracted somehow to people that you think they don't need you, so these sort of people somehow they don't say anything because they're afraid if they say something you will think that you're so good. They will look like as they need you, and they're afraid to lose you. So they don't say I love you or things that is wonderful to say and wonderful to hear. They're afraid, they're insecure, they're not so confident. So maybe you can discuss it on this basis and help him to understand that it's okay. That's why you guys are together, to freely exchange feelings and words, good words, kind words, and help each other to feel elated, strong, and supported and confident, because the other person's emotions is constantly being poured out to her or him. Yeah? All right. Let's see what else we have here. Yahima, hello dear. Good to see you. Okay. Yeah. It's got a simple design. I like it too. Vivek has a second part of the question. I think he says, I'm totally agree with you, sir. We are very good with each other, but she just want that me to leave my parents because of she leave hers. Well, you can. Some couples think that if they distance themselves from their parents, then everything will be worked out perfectly. But this is life. This is why we are here, to learn how to deal with people who want to dominate us, or how to deal with people who always want to act as parents, who always want to make decisions, who always wants us to listen to them, who always want to think that their way of thinking is the only right way. This is going to be your training to become more skillful to manage people, because you can't always expect people to be on their best behavior, to have your best interest in mind, to respect you, to not try to manipulate you. These are all happening everywhere, not just with your parents, with clients, with bosses, with colleagues, with friends, and all kinds. Jealousy, or just simply they're being psychotic, or they're psychopaths. They try to manipulate you, they try to use opportunities or money to control you, or they're trying to use whatever it is that they can do in order to somehow make themselves feel important. These are their shortcomings, not yours. But you can use these marching areas, this exercise circumstances, to make yourself wiser, stronger, more skillful in managing people, is seeing it through and see how to maneuver, how to make them behave, and how to make them comply in a proper and normal way of interacting with people, with respect, and so on. So, she left her parents. That's a dedication to you. Or maybe her parents were being a little bit too much controlling. And you can also regulate your, level of being influenced by your parents to a normal stage, because you are a man of your own now. You have a wife, so you can't be the little boy of your mom and dad anymore. And I'm not saying this is the case, but because I don't know you, I'm just speaking generally. So you need to keep a balance as a man, as someone that you want to be partner with your wife to lead your family. You want to create a situation where she would feel confident that she has a husband and your lives are independent, and at the same time you both can enjoy the support and positive influences of your parents. And if they are not, then you regulate your contact with them, interactions with them, to a respectable level, but not directly influenced on every level of your life every day. And perhaps that would be better than just leaving them altogether, unless they're really being unreasonable and a pain in your, in your shoes. And in that case, you have no choice. You got to cut relations. And that goes with anybody and any circumstance out there. And Vivek continues with the next part of the question as how to convince her that I love her but can't leave them as well. Well, I guess we just discussed this, and maybe you can ask her to watch this segment, my answer to you, and she can maybe understand that in order to prove your loyalty and love to her doesn't mean you should necessarily, for no good reason, sever your relationship with your parents or destroy something that is not really harmful. And if it is harmful, then regulate it. Have a certain diplomatic approach to make things work, both of you, with your parents. If they are really being devious, controlling, you will decrease your connection with them. But keep the standards of respect as much as possible. And if it's not possible, then you just simply go on your way until things change again. Rajesh, hello dear. Stefan asks, what is this? Well, it's a discussion. Sonia says exactly. Great answer. Thank you. You're welcome, dear. Ellie Engstrom. She says, let me just get rid of this little thing here so I can read her. She says, how do I make my boyfriend feel more? Feel more? You mean feeling your feelings more, being tuned with your feelings? That's what that's what I think it means. Otherwise, it could actually have a funny meaning too. But I think that's what it is. And she continues, and be more emotional. Okay, there it is. And be more emotional. He has a very hard time opening up his heart, but I'm very emotional. That's a good combination. You're emotional, he's not. And then you will always be constantly following him and and be attracted, because you have this need to give emotion, but you don't receive that emotion, so you're constantly in pursuit of getting that emotion. So I don't know if he knows it or not, he's created a very comfortable situation for himself. You're constantly, for as long as you keep giving this emotion, he has no need to give you any emotion. Why should he? I'm not saying he's doing it on purpose, because I don't know him. But there are some people who simply are like that, have not learned to give love and receive love, appreciate love, and be able to be compassionate, caring, and be able to express that love, because it hasn't been like that in their family. Or it's been lots of anger and betrayals and so on in their family. Or they just simply are playing a game. They're simply not in tune with love in life. They don't understand kind, warm, developing feelings. They haven't learned that. They're uneducated in feelings of humanity. They don't understand that. And some are just simply putting up a show and pretending they don't need it. While if you stop that emotion that you give out of your heart freely, they will start seeing how important that is, and then they will begin to see how important it is to give to you what they feel they are in need of and now being deprived. So as long as you keep pouring in, he has no reason to give you anything. You know, would you pay to the ice cream man for ice cream if every time you're there, their ice cream's there for people to take for free? Why would you pay? You start even complaining one day, and it's always free. Say, why is this ice cream too sweet? Why is it not enough sweet? Why is it not big enough? Why is it? Because it's free. As in a while, you will start thinking that the ice cream man's job is to give you free. Now he's slacking on the job, not giving you a good ice cream, instead of appreciating the ice cream. Now, as soon as the ice cream stops being free, and there's a charge for it, and you got to stand in line, then you quickly behave, and you'll have your money ready and willing to pay a high price for it. Now, this is what you've done. You've conditioned him to think, it's there, it's a free ice cream, it doesn't worth much, so why should I give anything to it, let alone what I think is really special, which is my emotions and my love, and expressing it to her. Why should I express it? Let her be controlled by me pretending I don't need it. I'm not saying this is what he does, but some people do this. And you keep giving more in order to get what you need. And you don't get it, so you give more. Maybe that's not enough. Maybe I haven't been good enough. Maybe I got to do this thing. Maybe I got to... And this is some people who are not educated do, and some people who are educated but they're psychopaths and they do it, and some people who are not psychopaths but simply they're selfish, or some people who just play a good game, or some people who just have other reasons that they haven't come to terms to understand this part of the humanity, and they got to be discussed and taught so they'll learn it, become educated, and understand this is why two people get together, to give emotion. That is the currency of love, to show it, extend it, and enjoy it. That's what this whole thing is all about. If there's no emotion in what you call love, that's not love. That's just basically physical interaction. It's maybe sex. That's it. There's no feeling. And sex with no feeling, definitely not as wonderful as sex with love and feeling. All right. So I hope that is something that would be helpful to you. And Vivek says, thank you very much. Okay, you're welcome. And again, Vivek says, how to improve my skills to understand the situation, when to express which emotion. It's an instinct. You should know. When you're hungry, does anybody have to explain to you? when you got to go to the bathroom? Do you have to, somebody tells you, hey, you're bloated, I can see it, it's time to go. Or maybe you stink, it's time to, you don't have to wait for people to tell you. You can figure it out. Why? Because the matters of emotion is a frequency. You know you're not right until you do certain things and you feel, perfect. You feel good. The resonation is complete. So if you need to understand the situation, as you say, to express which emotion, pay attention to that situation. Yeah? If you listen to a symphony, but if you're thinking about your work the next day, or your challenges, or your homework, or whatever it is, while that music is played, you're hearing a noise. And it's actually maybe interfering with what you're thinking. Put the music in your head, meaning pay full attention to the notes that are playing. Full attention to create a wonderful movement with the notes of the music. Understand how it affects you. Be in tune to see how it affects you. Be in search of understanding how that symphony makes you feel. And then you understand how it feels when you allow that music to make you feel. Otherwise you can't be saying, how should I be feeling about this music? Nobody knows. Everybody is different. So if you pay full attention to her, what she's saying, then you can see it like a picture drawn by Picasso. How her emotions are coming out of her signals, her words, her expressions, her resonation of energy. But if you're thinking about your things and you say, she's just saying something, I want to get back to my, you will miss what is being communicated to you. Pay full attention to her with love, with understanding. I want to feel how she feels. And if you don't understand, ask her, how do you feel, dear? I'm having trouble to understand what I should do to help you. What I should do to make you feel better. How can I make this better for you? But with full attention, be there. Make a cup of tea, sit together and feel her. And he says, is there any book to improve myself? It will be very helpful. Well, you can go on my site, mindthatseekstruth.com, look at the table of contents of the books that I've written, and probably me, my psyche, and I would give you insights about you. Because to feel someone, you got to know about you. To understand music, well, you got to be able to maybe understand different sounds of notes. To pay attention, maybe you play a music, then you understand it better. So to understand about yourself, it will help you to understand her. And for that, you need to try to see Me, My Psyche, and I, the book that I have, one of the books that I have on my site, will do the trick for you. And will give you enough information about yourself, how you're put together. And then on that premise, you can understand how she's put together. Then on that, you can feel, because you can feel why you feel the way you do, because you know how you've been put together. Then when you know how she's been put together, then you know how she is feeling, and you'll be able to feel her a little bit more and better. All right. Okay, so looks like we have caught up with all the questions so far, so we wait for the fresh ones. And now, let me ask my time manager, Prince, where are you? What? How far have we come today, as far as time is concerned? 12:19. Thank you. So we have another 10 minutes to go, guys. So if there's any questions lingering, you can. So please don't forget to like my Facebook page, Mind That Seeks Truth Author. The link of my Facebook page is up there on this video on top, the title. Join it, because on Saturdays I have a live talk on my own Facebook page, and on Sundays we have a live talk on the Amazing Things in the World Facebook page. And so I would like you guys to watch the videos on YouTube, like the Facebook page that I put posts up in regards to relationship and thoughts and conscious fears, desires, and some videos that I uploaded on my own Facebook page. So you'll have an opportunity to be up to date, and make sure that you will allow it to inform you when new things are posted, so on and so forth. And so also, I ask you to share the videos that you like on your social media, because many people, as I mentioned before, constantly write and appreciate the quality of the videos, and they are amazingly appreciative for how it's been changing their lives and helping them to get over the problems that they're facing with. And they also tell me many other channels that exist on YouTube, but the contents are simply fillers, and they don't have, not all of them have much basis to help them, yet there are a million viewers on those videos. So the only way that we can introduce the quality of our videos, the content of our videos, is if you guys share them on your social media, so more people will know that there's a real help and support available on the YouTube channel, and they could get to know and then benefit from it. And also, it will help the channel to have more exposure, and people become more aware of such support exists, and to know my work. That would be highly appreciated. And of course, it would be great if you guys do yourselves a favor, go on my site and choose an ebook that it will help you with the issues that you may be going through, and in that way we can help you to understand how this whole thing is, rather than constantly waiting for answers from me, because then you become your own creator of solution for your challenges that is all stemming from the psyche, the consciousness. When you understand how this works through these books, then you understand how to manage yourself, and you become the answers that you're seeking from me. You become able to give those answers through yourself, by yourself. And that's the whole intention. That's why I'm going to decrease the ebooks for a short period of time to a level that every one of you can buy one. And I expect you guys to do, because that is not anymore the economic promotion. It's for you to be able to afford it. And $7, $8, I think that's just something like you don't even, it's just so nominal. But so therefore, this is not really a game aimed to just promote sales. This is aimed to help you to get one of these books and read it and see how it helps you. And if it didn't help you, which is rather impossible, you haven't spent much money. So you will be very happy with a gift. So share it. Share the videos with people that you know in your social media. Look at the table of contents and the sample chapters of the books in my site, mindthatseekstruth.com. And click on the Facebook page and like it, so we'll all be in touch. Now, on that note, I think we have covered almost everything we could cover in this 1 hour. I want to thank you for being here and giving me the opportunity to share these things with you. I had a great time, and it's Sunday. You guys go and have a wonderful day, and I look forward to see you guys next week, either Saturday on my own Facebook page or on Sunday on the amazing things in the world. And thanks again from Witty Feed and its wonderful people, and I love you all. Talk to you soon. See you next week. Bye for now.